What is up, YouTube? Family, friends, everyone who's been following me along my journey. So I guess I'll start off by saying, owe you guys an apology in a way. When I started this prep for this competition that I just did, the 2017 FUC Long Island Championships, I really wanted to kind of have you guys follow along, and I wanted to almost make like a series out of it, and kind of didn't get to do that due to a couple different reasons. But long story short, I'm back and ready to start really putting some stuff out there to help you guys, and as far as training goes, things like that, but other things that just kind of like relate to me in my life and how I've kind of really gotten to the point where I'm at, and hopefully get me to where I want to go. But yeah, man, the show ended up going really well, despite it being a very long, well, not very long I should say, but very difficult prep to say the least. The total length of the prep, it was about 13 weeks, which is kind of actually short. Usually it should be around 16, 14 weeks, but I did it in 13, and I came in as best as I could, which ended up being good enough to win the juniors division, which, if you don't know, the NPC is 20 to 23 years old, so I did take first in that. And then I took third place in men's open bodybuilding, which is still fairly well. I would have liked to be in the top 2, but it's hard to compete with some of the older guys, man. The muscle is just way different, more dense, and but overall it was really refreshing for me to get back to doing that. I did compete, for those who don't know, about 2.5 years ago, and since then I've always trained hard, dieted for myself, but competing is really what I love to do. And for me to get back to that point, it was way more than just stepping on stage. It was just me getting back to doing what I love to do and what I feel like I should be doing. So I was definitely happy to do it, and right now kind of enjoying myself a little bit. The last week I did, right after the show, back dieting now. I don't have a next show set in place right now, being that I just got done kind of getting back to doing like YouTube and some other things that I'll be working on. But so yeah, man, that's like a little recap of the show. But I just want to say that quick thank you to everyone who helped me along the prep. Everyone in the gym who was reaching out to me, telling me how I look good and good luck and things like that. It's a really difficult thing to do for anyone who hasn't done it or anyone who is thinking about competing. So having that support and knowing that people are really pulling for you and pushing for you, and that what you're doing motivates them to do, accomplish their own fitness goals or whatever it is they're doing, definitely helps out a lot. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, today we're gonna shoot. I'm gonna show you guys leg workout. Haven't really posted too many like workout related things in a while, so I'm gonna show you guys my reverse leg day. We're gonna start with some hamstring stuff, going to some quads, and nothing too crazy. I'm really just getting back into training full time. But yeah, man, so we're gonna go kill it today. So we're starting with hamstrings today. This is actually my first leg workout since my last leg workout of the prep. Starting with hams today. I always split up my leg training. One day start with hams, then go to quads. The other day start with quads, go to hams, just to create some balance. But you're gonna see on this particular exercise, one thing that's helped me a lot with developing my hamstrings, you're gonna point your toe instead of keeping it straight like that. Pointing your toe, you're gonna activate more of the hamstring, and you're gonna just, really I find that you just get more out of it. More stimulation, which is what you want. So I'll show you guys what I mean. Instead of keeping your toes pointed, instead of keeping your feet like straight like that, you're gonna point your toes throughout the whole thing. And I like to hold it.
like the first 5, and then pump out 5 more.
So people want to know, bro, what was the first cheat meal right off stage?
First cheat meal off stage. Well, I think I took out like half a dozen donuts right when I was done, and then went home, showered. We got done kind of earlier than we expected, but went home, showered, and then, no lie, bro, whole pie pizza, Little Vinny's, whole pie, cold cheese. Took that shit out in like 20 minutes, no joke. It's good, bro. This is the first time I had pizza since like January.
I mean,
that shit tasted so good.
I saw donuts on the snap.
Oh yeah, there was like, I think I had like half a dozen right afterwards, like another half dozen that night. Dude, it was so good. People don't realize when you don't eat something for so long, it tastes 10 times better than normal. No lie, it was good.
So how'd you feel after prejudging? Like, what was your first impression of how you did? And
I felt on the money, man. Like when we were backstage getting like the sheen, like which is like the shine like over the tan, and when they were putting that on, I mean, I came in good, dude. I was full, I was hard, conditioning was there, but yeah, I felt really good, dude. I felt really on point, and I was, you know, definitely happy with how I looked going into the prejudging. So I felt good going out there, and I knew it was going to turn out good for sure. But
so you said earlier you were feeling on point the day of the show and right after prejudging. What do you think that you did specifically during peak week or anything leading up to the show that, you know, had you feeling on point?
I think just the prep itself, man, like the conditioning. My conditioning was way better than the last time I competed. And, you know, I mean, that just came from, you know, the more cardio. I definitely was doing more cardio this prep, and it paid off. I mean, it sucked. I think personally, truthfully, I really think I might have sacrificed a little bit of muscle, but to me, it's worth it to obtain that little bit more of a more detailed condition. Because at the end of the day, size isn't going to win you a show. It's your overall package, how you present it, conditioning, detail, everything like that comes into play. So I think it paid off, honestly. Just, you know, the prep itself, man, just the conditioning was really on point, and I was just confident going into it.
So now that you're going into the off season, is your training going to be any different than when you were on prep?
No, not really, man. I stick to the same exercises, same way I trained. I still trained heavy. I mean, as heavy as possible up until like the 2 weeks, 1 week out. You know, my philosophy is, if you're gonna train heavy in the off season, you're gonna train a certain way to build that muscle. Why would you change that just because you're in prep? You know. So I train the same year round. Same exercises, you know, I might change up the order, the rep scheme, tempo, things like that, but I stick to the same kind of routine year round, with, you know, minor changes here and there, just to, you know, change things up. But as far as like intensity, volume, and weight, that stuff stays the same for me. So yeah, right now going into I guess kind of an indefinite off season, because I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, if I'm going to get on stage again this year. I want to. There's just some things that I have to get done first, but we'll kind of see. You know, I did just kind of get done, so I don't really have it planned out yet, but you got to just stay tuned and find out. Here, if you want to show them, with this, on a lot of my leg presses, I like to keep my feet lower on the platform. It's going to allow you to hit more of the quad, as opposed to keeping your feet all the way up here. I don't know if you can see that, but, and then I also sometimes will, instead of keeping my feet straight like this, point your toes. You're gonna work that outer part of the quad more, which a lot of people don't have. Definitely one thing I think is key to leg training, just like your feet position, moving things around like that, just to hit the leg differently.
Alright guys, so what we're doing on here, I can't take credit for it, but shout out to Hani Rambod, Jeremy Buendia's coach, Phil Heath's coach, for developing the FST7 training style. If you follow me, you kind of know that I use it for a lot of my workouts. Essentially, it's 7 sets of 10 reps with a 30 seconds rest in between. I found that it works great, keeps the muscles full, gets you that killer pump right away, and you're getting a lot of volume in a short amount of time. And we're still using a decently heavy weight, so for me, I find that it works wonders, so I definitely give it a try on some kind of like machine exercise. I really don't do it with free weight, but definitely gonna give you a killer pump. Right now, we're finishing up quads with leg extensions. We're gonna hit 4 sets, like 8 to 12 reps. As you see, I'm like on 75, 80 pounds. I'm really trying to get more of a contraction on this exercise. I see a lot of people like stack this bad boy up, and you're either gonna just not do much for yourself or end up tearing your knee somehow, some way. So on this exercise in particular, we're just trying to get a good contraction, squeeze everything out, and finish off legs before we touch on calves. And that's gonna be it for today.
So what did you do to carb up for the show? Did you go the night of, the morning of? What was your peak week looking like?
Peak week sucked. We depleted really hard. I was pretty much on like no carbs, and started carbing up on Wednesday, gradually increased the carbs going into Friday. Cut water pretty hard as well, and then Saturday morning woke up, slammed down some pancakes, some eggs, chicken and white rice maybe a couple hours later, a couple of muffins like an hour before, and then we hit the stage probably like an hour after that, and felt real good throughout the whole day. Like I said, pre-judging went really well, and then after that went into Five Guys, got a couple burgers for the night show, and came back a little bit fuller, but I think I held a little bit of water in the night show. I don't know if it was the burgers or the sodium, whatever it might have been, but still came in good, but had a little bit of water in me, but it ended up, I mean, it worked out well, so I was happy, man. I was just so happy. It was a long 13 weeks, and I was just happy, man. I mean, it didn't matter what the outcome was. I was just, I mean, obviously still trained to win, but I was just happy just to be there, and it was a good day overall, so yeah. I'm good.
This post-workout nutrition right here. We got some salmon avocado, spicy tuna, little Ichiban, spicy girl. We're good to go.
All right, guys, that was today's post-leg workout meal, sushi. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. A little update with where I'm at with things. So yeah, guys, be sure to definitely subscribe to the channel, and just keep an eye out for what's to come.